So have I got a treat for you? You know, I often talk about the tent city and how the miners, when they decided to stay, they built a cabin completely around their old tent. Well, here's one of them. Let's take a look. Wow.
Let's start look at the floorboards here.
So this is an original tent city miner's cabin. And oh, it's a bit knocking.
Yeah,
look at the stove.
floorboards.
Look at the stove.
So what they would do is with their tent, they'd build a wall about 3/4, but leave it as a tent. It's just so that they didn't use up all the material. And if the mine was large enough and they knew they were going to stay for a while, they completed the cabin totally. So
this cabin dates back to 1910, and it actually comes from Belmont, and it's been moved here to the Tonopah Museum grounds, as is everything in it is original. You've got their old cutlery and their tin cups and the old miner's bed. This is really neat. You've got a Prince Albert. Oh, a velvet actually. I've never seen a velvet. That's pretty neat. We normally see Prince Alberts.
that is really nice.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And look at the old picture. So I wonder whether or not, when it was very, very first built, whether or not it actually had a sink like this. I wouldn't have thought so. They would have just had a pitcher and a bowl to wash.
Yeah.
And then later on, water supply and a little sink.
Cool.
Let's see what else we can find. Now this is a 2-roomed miner's cabin. Now this also dates from 1910, and it was here in Tonopah, just down the street. They've just moved it. Got a little closet, wardrobe.
Well, they had funky taste in wallpaper, didn't they?
Well, they
Bright,
did what they
cheery.
they did what they did. So a little bed.
And I gotta say, I am digging this bathtub.
Isn't that cool? And look, you've even got like a wood arm rail. And look how comfortable you could just lie in that.
Right on.
And then this is the second room with cobwebs everywhere. These haven't been opened for about 18 months, the lady was telling me, so we're privileged to actually be able to come in here. So this would have been the kitchen. There's a second door that leads outside, some more funky wallpaper. Cute little stove.
Look at that.
And a little sink.
Very simple.
Very simple. A tiny cabin. Now this is a board and batten miner's cabin, according to the sign, and it dates back to 1908. Let's go inside. So this was a mining store. So this is how the miners would come, or whether they would come and get their supplies.
So
And of course the supplies were really limited.
I would say,
This
as a
is-
miner, what do you need? A pickaxe, a shovel, some alcohol, and some tobacco.
Pretty much.
You're good to go.
But you do need to have
Right.
to eat. But you've got I'm in awe. You've got, you know, your relish jars, your Leon Perrins, and obviously some of these date later than 1908, but you've got some old bottles on the bottom which are amazing. And the tins.
And so is this cash register.
Isn't it cool? And then here, look, you've got more. As I said, I hadn't seen that velvet before, but the Prince Alberts, these are what the Prince Alberts, we normally see these all beaten up and rusted, but that's what they look like when they're not. That's neat.
It is neat to see all the old.
And look at the old medicine jars. And so this is lavender. This is this glass is starting to turn lavender, which makes it really old. This is a standard flavouring extract.
I just love the old style of how they did everything.
Even
I wish they continued that. You know?
Even the little bottles have character. They have pride in their appearance. This is an oil. It's even got a little bubble, which makes me think this could possibly have been hand done. So, and then you've got the ointment jars. Now, what are the main things that all miners wanted?
Drinks, tobacco, and
Loose women.
Yeah.
I can show you one of those. Come and take a look. This is a 1908 saloon.
Ooh, yeah.
Look at all those bottles.
This is really neat. The collection of bottles in itself is amazing. The state that they're in. I mean, they're so well preserved. The barrels, this table. How many poker games could have been played on that?
And then you've got a totally different style stove. You know what I'm like with the stoves. That's a big boy. Birmingham Stove and Range Company, Birmingham, Alabama. So can you imagine, this is how they carried their dynamite? Not particularly safe. No wonder there were so many accidents. But look at the tongue and groove. And that would have all been, or maybe not hand done, that one. Might have been machine done.
So after all the years of driving past this place.
Yeah, so Leona and Leroy David, or David, founded this place back in the 80s. Now, their father was an avid clown lover, and he had a collection of 150 clowns. So in memory of him, they put the clowns up on show, and the Clown Motel was born.
Wow.
And now there's about 4,000 clowns.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at this.
And they even sell merch. T-shirts, hats, clowns, mugs. So you could have a nice cup of coffee or tea in your clown mug. And because of the clown theme, it's known as America's scariest
motel.
True story. So being right next door to such an old graveyard, no wonder the place is presumably haunted.
Here we are in the shadow of the Clown Hotel, and one of the oddities that makes this place also a little bit more special, the graveyard. So, is that what supposedly makes the Clown Hotel so haunted?
I think it could be part of it. You have all these spirits here, some of which may not have crossed over. But also, the Clown Motel is supposedly built on an Indian burial ground. So maybe they disturbed the natives and that could be causing it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Plus, they now have over 4,000 clowns. A lot of those have been donated, and you do know that objects can have negative energy and positive energy attached to them. So maybe, just maybe, some of those clowns are haunted. Hey, let's check up here.
All right, well, one thing, how much longer are we gonna do that? Because I know we haven't even found a campsite tonight.
Look, you want to check this place out, don't you?
Well, yeah, I was just saying, you know.
Do you want to check this room out?
How are we gonna get in the room? It's open? We're staying here.
We're staying here.
How did you wrangle that?
I met with the owner. He invited us. Pretty cool, huh?
All right, so is this one haunted then?
Every room's haunted.
Really?
Every single room.
Well, I'm glad that's over. And I didn't have any experiences at all. Did you?
No, I didn't feel anything. But
You never know. Not saying it is. Not saying it isn't.
I mean, a lot of people do have experiences.
Yeah. Well, at least we're getting out of here safe and sound. Nice. Time to find a nice, peaceful camp spot.